Well, welcome to my craft room. My craft room is out of control. I have been trying to craft while I am in my coaching season and buying new supplies and working on projects. And I just have not been able to keep up with keeping my craft room clean and crafting. I've also been using this as my office, even though I have an office somewhere else. And yeah, I I need to clean this room. It's causing me a lot of anxiety and I can't work in here. I can't do any projects in here. So I have a lot of work to do. This is a Goodwill haul that I didn't get to film, and I've pulled some things down to work on projects that I was too busy to put away. And this is like my landing zone because my front door is right there. Um, and so that's like my everyday purse, my work bag, my cross country bag, and then my cross country meat bag. And I have cross country and track supplies up there that don't even belong in this room. So yeah, I am going to start. I'm not even sure where I'm going to start, but I'm going to probably start picking up the floor and just trying to make my way around the room. And I thought I would take you along with me. Well, I'm jumping right in. The first thing, as soon as I walk in my door, I hit into my box of clips. And I know I have a clip on my desk, so I am in search of that single clip to return it to its proper place. Looking back, I probably should have just waited to save myself some time, but it's okay. It is now put away where it belongs. So what I decide to first tackle is the walkway so that I'm not tripping over the items that are on the floor. And this is like the baby box of embellishments that I was working on, and the boxes are missing, so I can't really put that away yet. This is like my main crafting area, and here I'm just looking to see if I have any stamps missing off of that set because I'm finding acrylic blocks that have stamps stuck to them and they're not put away appropriately. So you will see me going back and forth when I start my cleaning process because I don't want to move one pile to a different area of my craft room and then have to deal with another pile later. So I start off trying to somewhat put the stuff away in the general area that it belongs, but it's slowing me down because I am having to walk around items and things are not where they are supposed to be. So here I'm just trying to decide, okay, should I put this? Where does it go? And trying to get it in that area without falling or tripping over, breaking items while I'm doing it. So I have been working on several projects, which is why my craft room looks the way that it does. And I just didn't have time to actually craft and then clean up. It was kind of like one or the other. And then this is the result of not cleaning up after myself. Here I find some money that doesn't belong in my room, so I'm putting it up on this shelf, and that's gonna like be my outgoing shelf. And yes, I'm clapping my hands to motivate myself that I can do this. Stuff is falling on me. I am really overwhelmed. I love all my stuff. I'm the first to admit that I'm a hoarder of all things craft. But this is probably one of the hardest clean with me's that I've actually done. One of the reasons is because I attempted to film it and I've never done that before. And I'm in cross country season. I never ever craft during cross country season. I just shut my craft room down. But I really find relief when I craft, and so I wanted to really try and fit it in the season. But hard lesson learned. I don't think that was the wisest choice to make because as you can see with my room, really paid the ultimate price of me trying to do everything that I wanted to do. So these are items that I recently did a whole video on. It's already up on my channel, but I am really struggling with trying to figure out what should I do. Should I try and put this stuff away, or should I just bag it up and deal with it after my room is clean? So here I'm putting some Happy Mail supplies away because I know I can get to that drawer. And then I go back to contemplating what should I do, what should I do. And I pick out the Halloween stuff because my Halloween box is out. And so I know I can just quickly stick that in the box that's out, just make my way around the room. And I have it all over my room actually. So I just shove it in that little box and I'm saying I'll deal with that later. And inks that don't belong I'm putting away because I can open those drawers easily. And here, this is something that stays out on my desk normally, just my favorite inks and my little die cuts. Yes, that's the third clap of this video. That's how much self-motivation I need. 3 claps and I'm only a few minutes in. Here I'm just going through. I know there's items in this cart that don't belong, so I don't want them in there. So I'm just taking a minute and pulling out the items that don't belong and putting it in an order that makes sense to me when I'm crafting. And I am just organizing my little caddy, trying to put the supplies where they belong. Like these popsicle sticks don't belong in there, so I'm just putting them where they belong. That way, as I leave that space, I feel like it's looking good. Here is one of the wedding stamps that I just recently used to make a wedding card, and I'm cleaning it. And down on the floor I have my bag of wedding supplies, and here I'm saying I know I have wedding paper that I used when I made the card, so I'm going back by my paper cutter and pulling those wedding supplies so I can get them put away in the bag with the rest of the supplies, and then putting the bag on the shelf where it belongs. That's looking good. Yes, I'm clapping my hands again. My favorite pens are going into my pen jug. I found that at a Goodwill store, and I was very excited about that. It was only like $2. And fitting my acrylic paints in my paint box, but I don't like stuff laying on the side, so I'm trying to make room so that they stand up, and that's just taking me a little bit to get them all in there. Yeah, there goes my clapping my hands again. That's a habit that I do all the time, not just in my craft room. It's just like a self-motivating technique. And here I realize that yes, I bought these shelves, these little bins to stack on top of the bins that I already own, but these are really tiny, and now I'm walking around my craft room aimlessly trying to figure out what I should do with them, so I stick them on top of the IKEA unit. Twine, I know where it goes, and I believe my camera falls, and yeah, now I'm putting it away appropriately. Okay. So I'm undecided if I should actually put stuff away, new stuff, or clean and then sort my new stuff for the areas that they belong in and then put it away. So I think what I'm going to do is get a bag. I think I have one over there, and put this new stuff away in a bag and not put it away until I can get to all of my areas, right? I don't know. Because I just feel like I can't put the stuff away appropriately with my stuff everywhere, right? Oh. Yeah, okay. So all of this is new stuff, and I did do a haul video on this. I'm sure it's up already. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my new stuff here, and I'm going to go get the bag. I decided to leave my original video in there of me making the decision to take all those new craft supplies that were in my crafting area and just bag them up and put them out of the way until my room is more clean so that I can put them away where they belong. And here I'm just explaining that this was the baby album that I had started, and I have a bunch of process videos up to this point of the album, and ended up stopping making the album because a bunch of Halloween videos were coming up in my YouTube feed, and I just became unmotivated and decided I wanted to do Halloween instead. So it was not an easy decision for me because I was afraid that I would be looking for the original papers and embellishments that I pulled for the album now that it was half complete. But at the end, I do decide just to go ahead and put everything away. While I was doing that, one of the bins fell and everything toppled over, so I just took a second to pick everything up so that if I went walking around that craft island again, I wouldn't trip over anything. And now that I have made my final decision to put the baby album away, I am sorting through some of the embellishments that I have laying on my desk. My instinct at first was just to drop it all in the box that I have, but I knew that I would regret that later on because I wanted to somewhat keep the ephemera together and try so that later on when I do go back to finish up this album, I'll know where most of those pieces are. So I find this is like a sticker sheet that belongs to sports, so I just quickly put that away. And here I'm just doing a quick flip through trying to decide, okay, where am I putting this baby stuff? Where do I put this album? And this is one of the baby boxes that I pulled down from the top shelf, and I know that I have stamps laying on the other area of my craft room, so I'm just quickly gathering all the baby stamps so I can get them put away in this box and trying to make some room so I can clear off that main crafting desk. And this is just some ephemera where the bag ripped, so I'm taking a minute to staple it so that it doesn't end up in the bottom of that bin later on. And once I get that going, I'm just flipping through the ephemera, and I'm pulling out the pieces that I pulled from my main stash that don't actually belong in the baby box. And these are some paper pads that I originally pulled that I thought I would use in the album, but they're not actually baby related. So I'm just throwing them on the lid of the bin because I know they have to be put away somewhere else. And packaging up. Oh, here I'm very excited because I found the missing front and back cover to the album. So I'm just climbing up on one of my shelves to get myself a clear cellophane bag to keep the album in to help prevent it from getting damaged when I go to store it in the baby box. And now that I have the baby album safely put away, I'm just flipping through this large Ziploc bag and some of the papers that I pulled. Some of them do belong to the album and some of them are just randoms that I pulled, but I've decided just to slip them into my little cubby. I'm pointing it right there. The cubby that I house my baby stuff instead of the two boxes, that's what I also was pointing to. And just emptying out my little IKEA unit, my organizer, pulling all the things baby, and now I'm on the other side of my desk because I know that I have stuff over there that's baby related that I want to put in this bag as well. And I do feel like I'm making really good progress emptying this out, sorting items that belong in the baby box versus in my regular stash. And I have no idea why all these pieces that I'm putting in this little sleeve were in that white container. I couldn't remember why I had them separated, why they were in there, and so I'm just putting them in a sleeve so that they don't get lost. And that's my pile of things that just belong back in my stash. And here I realize, oh my gosh, these are the baby ephemeras that I was looking for, and it was just on the other side of that clear bin. So I was really frustrated about that. And so now I'm going back and trying to add them back into the bins where they belong. And yeah, even though I tried to sort out just the items that I was going to use, it's still, it didn't work out the way that I had hoped that it would. And that's okay. I don't mind flipping through my stash over and over again. That's kind of one of my favorite parts of crafting. So doing another quick sort, pulling out washi tape, thread, ribbons that don't belong, and I know that some of these are just things that are going right back into my ephemera boxes, and I'm not going to put them in their specific packages just yet, but I do plan on doing that in the future. So I'm just making a pile with those so that they don't get lost while I'm cleaning my craft room. Now that I've made some progress on my crafting area, I decide to pull the second baby box that was on top of my shelf and decide what's going in it. So I pretty much just grab all of the sticker packs and all things that were pink that I originally pulled out to make the album, all of the pink ribbon, and put it back in that bin where it belonged, along with all the other little things, and it fit nicely in there. I have that box divided half blue, half pink, and I just laid the album right on top so it would not get damaged. And now I go to put the box back on the top shelf, and once again I drop my camera. It's okay. And I'm back to it, putting these little things that do not belong away. I'm just throwing the washi on my washi cart and then making my way back around the room. A couple of miscellaneous ephemera that doesn't belong, I'm just putting that in with my papers. And then these ones that I know belong to an ephemera pack, I slip up there in that little box lid, and later on I will put them in the packaging that they belong in. And just cleaning up these last little bits, and happy that I'm finally getting this area cleaned up. It wasn't an easy decision to put all that baby stuff away, because I know how long it took me to actually go through it and pull the things that I wanted for the album, but I know I made the right decision because I'm already feeling better with how my craft room is looking, and that's really the most important part. That album is always going to be there. So yeah, very happy. I'm just like looking through, okay, this is looking good, this is how I like it to be, and giving my counter a quick wipe down. Okay, so up here I just keep some basic tools that I use. This is like when I film projects right here. All this stuff doesn't belong. This is all of my word stickers and phrases. They're all good there. And here I have like my foam and sticky stuff. This is all scrap paper for embossing stuff, so that's good. My center that I use for designated projects is empty. And up here, I know I have to clean this out. So in here are some stamps that don't belong. So yeah, this is going to be the project that I deal with next. So let's get to it. Now the main part of my crafting area is reset. I'm moving over to the side area behind my Cricut machine, and back here I just find some more baby papers, and I had to make a boy card for someone, so I pulled that box out from where I'm pointing to. It's just a 12 by 12 scrapbooking box, and I'm dragging over a stool to return that box to where it belongs. And then the last thing I think that I find back there is just a paper pad that I was using to make my second baby album with. And so I'm just putting the papers inside and deciding that I'm going to go ahead and put that right into the cubby that holds my baby supplies. And then I am getting ready to do the area of my craft room where I do most of my planning, and if I bring in my laptop to do any other work, that's the corner that I go to. And that area is pretty bad, so let's dive right in. Alright, well, looking at this desk now, this probably looks like the worst part of my craft room. Not only do I do my planning over here, I do my cross-country paperwork here. When I'm have work to do from home, I do it from here. I do have a small office, but I'm just drawn to this room and has really big windows in the front. So this is where I do a lot of my activities. And here I am just looking at all of the baby items that I have left out for that second baby album that I was working on. It is completed, and you've probably already seen a video of that as well. I really enjoy working on that one. But yeah, I'm just tackling this area piece by piece. There's a lot of trash, items that don't belong, several different projects going on, and I'm just taking one thing at a time and trying to get it somewhat put away in at least the area that it belongs in. And I'm doing a super quick sort and just trying to pull the baby supplies. That way I can get them put away. Even though I've already put away the boxes, I'm just going to go back and add these supplies to that box. So I'm in the process of working my way around my craft room, and I had some Goodwill bags that I had sitting on the floor that had a Goodwill haul in it. So I figured, let me get this filmed real quick. That way I can work on putting this stuff away. So this Goodwill that we went to had every single color container like this in beads. It was $7 and I think 49 cents for two, and then I did have a 25% discount. I only picked those two colors because they had like the biggest beads. Some of the boxes had really small beads, and I really have a hard time working with small beads. And then I picked these two that were $5.49, and I think it's like the red and the greens because they also had some bigger size beads. It was very tempting to buy all the colors, but I knew that that's not realistic. I really didn't have the space. So anyway, I also found this bag of ribbon. It was $2.49, and there were so many ribbons in this package that I thought I would use, so I decided to scoop it up, even though I promised I was never buying any more ribbon. And then it had this really cute Easter bag of goodies. It had some die cuts and some really cute items to stick in Happy Mail, and I have done Easter outgoing Happy Mail, so I figured I would pick that up, and I think that was actually like 50% off. And this is one of the old school EK Success fastener tools, and it staples special tight fasteners on like 12 by 12 paper. They don't make them anymore, but I have like a ton of staples, so I picked that up. And then these IKEA bins that they don't make anymore, and I currently have those in my craft room, so I bought them to match my current bins. Alrighty, and this is the second time that I've bumped into my Halloween bin that's sitting there on the floor, so I am once again picking that stuff up and trying to move it out of my way, because I'm just making my way around my craft room and I haven't hit that area yet. So I've just filmed the Goodwill haul, and right now I'm just putting it back inside the bags because I need to put them away, but I can't get to those areas yet. So now that it's filmed, I know I can put it away. And I'm taking out my overfilled garbage and just throwing it out my craft room door. Alright, well, it's the next day, and I just wanted to show some of the progress that I've made. This is the entrance. As you can see, I've cleared the walkway. This is my leaving my craft room area. I haven't actually moved anything out of there yet. And here I have reorganized some of my basic supplies that I use on the regular. And I did grab a box, and this was the stuff that was up in here. This is stuff that needs to just go away, but I wasn't either able to access the area or I wasn't sure where to put it. And I did go to the dollar store today and just picked up some crafting things that I use on the regular. So this is going to be moved, but right now this is where it is, and all of these are now empty. This is empty, and kind of my main crafting area is back to normal. I cleared off a lot of the stacks of bins and papers that I had back there, and I'm keeping my stool there because up here I put back the baby and the Halloween and both the baby boxes, but my Halloween boxes are missing. They are down here. I'm undecided. I really wanted to do some Halloween crafting, but I'm leaving town and I'm not sure if I'm going to actually be able to get Halloween done before Halloween. So this is the box that I was just putting some Halloween stuff into, so that's also something I have to go through. I've cleaned off most of my secondary planner area. I just have my laptop because I was editing a video, my planner, and cleaned up this area pretty nicely. Have not touched this area. This is Halloween papers. And yeah, I haven't done anything but add stuff to this area. As far as the floor goes, still have everything a mess over there, but I'm kind of working my way around my room. So with that said, I'm going to get to it and continue organizing my space. Alright, so I pretty much realized right away that this box is way too big and I do not have any place to put it in my craft room. So what I decided to do is take the supplies out of it and just add it to the bags of supplies that I have to sort when my room is clean. So I'm taking a minute and relocating it once again. I think this is my third relocation of these items. But yeah, that box just wasn't going to work. And I'm just taking it and putting it outside my craft room door so I can deal with it later. And I'm just continuing on moving across and around my craft room. So I am tackling that stack of what I thought was only Halloween papers, but there turned out to be some other items mixed in there. And so this is a baby album that I have to package and give to a friend of mine. So I'm just moving that to move it out of my craft room. And then I'm just doing the same as I've done in all the other areas. I am putting the stuff that I can put away so I don't end up with another group of piles. And there's still a lot of baby stuff. I had to make a boy related card, so I am actually putting that kind of stuff away. And any little things that I can easily get to, I am just taking the time and putting them away so I can get this countertop cleared off. And here I go in thinking that I am going to totally sort and reorganize my washi tape, and it turns out to be a complete fail. I'm not sure how I ended up with so many washies. I did a huge purge of my washies, and at one point, not too long ago, I feel like all of those washies fit in those two stackable trays, but that is not the case anymore. And so what I end up doing was I just give up and end up putting all those washi just on the sides of the trays, and I will have to deal with that another day. So what I ultimately end up deciding to do is go ahead and put away the Halloween supplies, because right now those are the supplies that are spread out all over my room, because that was projects that I had intended on working on. So what I'm doing here is I'm gathering all the supplies that I have laying around in different parts of my room, and I am just putting them away. And if time permits, after my room is clean, I hope that I will have time to get some of my Halloween pen pals mail out. Unfortunately, I was not able to get all of my Halloween supplies in the 2 boxes that I have for Halloween. And I didn't even purchase anything new this season. I think the only thing that I got were the package of bat clips from the dollar store. So I think it was poor packaging trying to fit stuff in that box, and it just didn't work. So you'll see towards the end of this video that I sit there for a few minutes contemplating how it is that now none of my supplies fit in these boxes when they did originally. So what I end up doing is after this video, the next day, I re-emptied all of the Halloween boxes and I sorted all of the supplies. I put like all the flat stickers together, all of the long stickers together, emptied those bins, the little Tupperware bins, and put the ribbon and washi in one and like my die cuts and stamps in the other, and tried to repack those 2 Halloween boxes. I definitely see the benefit of having the less is more when it comes to craft supplies, because what ended up happening was I pulled my Halloween boxes, I sorted, I organized, I did a huge video series on all my supplies so that I would know what I had and what I would be able to craft with this season. And then it was so overwhelming that I didn't get to craft at all. I started making a pocket letter, but all I did was get the papers cut and into the sleeve, and that was as far as I got. However, I am just not prepared to get rid of any of my supplies at this time. I have done several major craft room purges. The first time was when I was building my first craft room in my other house, and then the next really large one was when I knew I was moving and I was losing the big craft room for the small one that I'm in right now. And I don't necessarily regret getting rid of the things that I got rid of, but it also didn't stop me from buying anything new. So while I've been cleaning up this Halloween stuff, I was thinking, maybe this would be a solution for me to make kits so that when I go to craft, I can just pull out a kit that I've pre-made, so I'm still have the ability to go through all my supplies and touch the stuff and look at all the stuff, which is what I like to do, and then build kits so that when I'm ready to say, okay, I'm gonna have a pocket letter, I can just pull one kit that has matching papers, embellishments, and then pick very small, bring smaller items in to finish it off. That's an idea that I will definitely kick around in the future. And this, I'm looking at this video, and that is one of the things that I recently purchased was the Halloween bucket chipboard stickers from Target. That was an addition. But what I did do was I ended up taking all the jars that I had that had last year's stickers in it and transferred them to cellophane bags. So as you can see here, I am thinking, okay, what is going on? Why can I not fit any of these supplies in here? And I'm like, okay, now I'm going to get another bin and put the stuff in another bin. But then I realized I do not have the space on my shelf for another bin. So at this point, I give up and I just throw in the towel and I call it a night and decide I'm going to tackle this tomorrow. All right, so I'm just bringing you an update. It's, I think, I don't know, maybe day 3. So this part of my craft room is all cleaned and organized. I still have to deal with the stuff that I stuck up here, stuff that's leaving my room. And the floor is cleared. I haven't vacuumed or swept yet. This whole area is cleaned off. And in the last clip, you saw me reorganizing my Halloween bins that were over there. And what I ended up doing was I put them up there. And if you look on the very top, there are 3 Ziploc bags of additional supplies that I couldn't get to fit in those 2 bins. And I had to get rid of some spider web bags that I had duplicate colors of to make everything fit. So my planning area is all nice and clean over here, and I've taken care of all the paper and trash that was here. And I have also cleaned off this section of my room, and my paper area, kind of cleaned up my washi tape. So what I'm left with pretty much is this area. These are new items that have to be put away. So that's all these bags. This is like new items from a while ago that have to be put away. This, I just have to like clean up this shelving unit that the drawers aren't pushed in all the way, and then put this stuff up on this like IKEA cart, and then get the floor swept. And then I have a couple of miscellaneous things around the room that I have to take care of. And I'm not going to deal with any of that stuff until my room is completely like clean. So let's get to finish cleaning. And finally, it is my clean and semi-organized craft room. I am so excited. It came out so good. I think it took me a period of over 3 or 4 days around my work schedule, and now my room just looks amazing. I'm just kind of showing you around a little bit. I will get to one area that is for another video. This is all my new stuff that I need to put away. But like I said, that will be a different video. For now, look at how clean my room is. I can walk around my area. And here I'm panning up. My husband recently put up the shelves for me, and I was able to add all of my favorite items. And now I'm just doing another scan around my room so you can see all the goodness that I have in this little space. If you want to see a more detailed video of my craft room, it's my epic craft room tour that I filmed back in March of 2020. Thank you guys so much for sticking it out with me. I hope you enjoyed this series, and take care, guys. Bye.